I grew up in the 80s, the era of big hair and badass guitar riffs and all kinds of crazy rock music videos, and I miss all that. The rap guys are still doing it, but the rock guys have become real wusses. And that's sad, so we're kind of trying to bring that back a little bit. And you know what makes a great guitar riff, a lot of times, is the structure of it. And I've talked about that before, in architecture. They have 3 laws. Law number 1, how sound is the structure? How well supported is it? Because nobody wants to go inside a building that's going to fall on top of them, And works the same way in music. The second law in architecture is how useful is the structure, So if it's got, for example, a building is 3 feet tall and nobody can walk in it, so it's not very useful. And then the third one is how aesthetically pleasing is it? How does it look? Does it look good? Does it match the landscape? So a lot of times when you're making up music, you're doing the same thing. It's musical architecture. And my degree of study in college was music theory. And so I don't think of things like riffs and stuff like that. I think of them as their actual interval, And if you look at what a bar chord is, well, it's really a perfect fifth. It's a perfect interval in music theory. It's 3.5 steps long. Perfect fourth. See how it sounds hollow? The perfect fifth, which also sounds hollow, and the octave, which is the same note an octave higher. And if you add a perfect fourth and a perfect fifth together, guess what you get? You get an octave. So a lot of the great riffs started with octaves. And then you can use basic music theory and you learn if you diminish a fifth and you make it smaller, it becomes a tritone, which has a nickname in music called the devil's tone. It's kind of a wicked sounding interval, like in Metallica, Master of Puppets. Opening to Purple Haze, Jimi Hendrix. YYZ by Rush. I consider all day and name songs that use diminished fifth, tritone, devil's tone, whatever you want to call it. It's music theory. However, when you make something bigger, a perfect fifth largened, and you augment it, you make it bigger, then it becomes kind of cool sounding too. Just like a boob job. Girl gets bigger boobs, breast augmentation. So diminish smaller, augment bigger. And just think of the fifths that way. You can make great tunes. That's what Tool does. So have fun with that little tidbit of music theory and think about things that way. It's a lot more fun. So we have good news. My new CD, Back in Blue, came in today. Here they are with a lovely painting done by the one and only Alligator Dave, also known as Dave Grizzle, but I'm always going to call him Alligator Dave. That's how I know him. And he even put my dog out of Loof on there. I thought that was a nice touch. And on the back we have a picture from a gig in Austin. There's Brad Hauser back there, from the great bass player, originally from New Bohemians way back in the day too, another one of my favorite bands. So we had a lot of fun with this. There's a lot of really great tunes on here and a lot of great musicians. Wade Campbell's on here playing bass, and John Carruth on drums, and Alan Holdsworth is on here, and just a whole blast of cool people. Elliot Morgan played some bass on here, and Tex Bosley's playing on here, and of course Clark Erickson. So make sure and get you one, because they're available now, and we're going to release it this Friday in Houston. We're having a show at the Boom Boom Room on Yale. It's Friday, January the 10th. So tell all your homies in Houston to come out and see us. And then after that, we'll go everywhere else. But we want to start in my hometown because, it's the right thing to do. That way my mom and dad can come see me. And stay tuned. I'm going to do a blog with my mom and dad. I'll bring them in here one day. That'll be great. It'll be a lot of fun. So that's January 10th. And then also I wanted to bring up that we have some cool new shirts designed by my good friend Aaron Pinland. And Melissa here is going to show you what they look like. Kind of an Annie Get Your Gun Southern Belle thing. So we thought we'd have a little bit of fun with that and share it to you. So if you want to get one, we'll have them at the show Friday, and you'll be able to order them over the internet now as well. So have a happy new year, and we look forward to staying in touch with you.